Hello you lot, Miller Corner here and welcome back to my Mercedes W123. Now the last you saw of this car, it was having its rear window put back in after I'd had that unfortunate rot repaired around the rear window. Now after that it disappeared from the channel and I completely forgot that I actually shot a video of reassembling the car and making a few other improvements after the rear window went back in. So what you're going to see now is footage from a few months ago, hence it looks a bit more sort of winter, spring type weather outside, and I'm dressed in a hoodie because frankly it was very cold. So we're travelling in time a bit now, but here's some unseen footage of bringing the Merc back to life. The theme of reassembling the Mercedes is going to be while we're there type jobs, and one of the while we're there jobs I want to do is the back seat. Now it's actually in really good nick, much like the rest of the car. There's no rips or tears or fag burns or any major damage on it, but as you can see it is a bit dirty because at the end of the day it has had 40 plus years of other people's bottoms on it, and I can't say it's probably ever been thoroughly cleaned. So what I'm going to do is give this a damn good cleaning. I've already done the top half of it, but I'm going to overlay this because it's not a process you can really talk through while you're doing because it is quite noisy. So I've got myself this is some Simonized upholstery and carpet cleaner, not sponsored, this is just what they had in the shop. And the way this works is you spray the shampoo out through that nozzle there, then use this stiff bristle brush to kind of agitate the shampoo and work it into the cloth. You can use it on seats, carpets, all that kind of stuff. Then when it's been thoroughly scrubbed through and you've kind of got all the dirt to the surface, then you're going to rinse it off with a wet and dry vac. Now you can of course just wipe it off with a cloth, but if you want to be really thorough, get all the crap out of it, that's the best way to do it. So I've borrowed a wet vac from my girlfriend's mum. You soak it all the way through, then suck all the moisture out so it's as dry as possible. Then you have one of several ways to dry it. You can either put it in front of a log burner, put it in front of a little electric heater, or you can just let it air dry, but I'm going to put it in front of a dehumidifier to try and pull as much moisture out of it as possible so that then tomorrow it can go back in the car, be clean, dry, and far fresher and fruitier than whatever that is. So this is the before, and that is what 40 plus years of other people's bum juice looks like. Delicious. First things first, if your car spends any time in a body shop, it will get filthy. Look, there's all this dust here, all collected around there, on the door cards, backs of the seats. This thing is absolutely filthy back here, dust everywhere. So before we do anything in terms of refitting the trim, I'm going to go around with a hoover, vacuum up all this crap that's in here, and then take some clean disinfectant wipes and just make sure everything's a bit tidier and a bit nicer before it all goes back together. This is one of those while you're there jobs that really makes a difference with a car like this. This is the rear parcel shelf for the Mercedes, and my car came with these Pioneer speakers. They're 80s spec TS107s, and after a bit of googling they appear to be about 1987 vintage. Now I don't know if they would have been fitted to this car from factory or if someone else has done them in the 80s, but they don't work. They're old and crusty and all the joints have dried out and there's bits flaking off of them, and I didn't even realise it had rear shelf speakers until I got home and realised they weren't doing anything. So I could try and make these work, but to be honest with you, I'm not going to do that, because what I'm going to do is take these out and replace them with 12 pounds of eBay's finest. Welcome to my Auto Choice PMA 4001s. Now I know these are not the audiophile's choice, they are just the cheapest brand new set of 4-inch tweeters I could buy on eBay, but they look okay, the reviews are decent, and crucially the rear speakers in a big saloon like this, they're going to be back here. I'm not really going to hear if they sound like crap, but if they sound like anything at all, they're doing better than the ones I had in there. Now I had planned to crimp new bullet connectors on and everything like that, but the actual connectors on the wiring loop for the car are in decent nick. I might give them a quick clean up, but they look all right. And these speakers come with pre-joined terminals on them. So in theory, all I've got to do is unscrew the Pioneers from the parcel shelf, screw these new ones in, pop the covers on, and then I can make a good auto choice, hopefully. So there's my Auto Choice speakers fitted to the rear shelf, and it's worth noting that for $11.99 for a pair of brand new speakers, they also come with wiring looms for both speakers. If you need to rewire them into your specific car, you've got that, and brand new screws and clips, which I've opted not to use because classic cars are all about originality, and it's totally not because I'm an idiot and didn't realise and have used the rusty old screws instead. Moving on. Oh, okay. That is all good. Just remember to plug it in, because otherwise you'll wonder why nothing works. I've done that the wrong way around. There's one, there's two, and then we can tuck the sound deadening behind there because Mercedes designed things properly and it's all neat and well packaged. Look at that. That's very good. It's tight working under here, but we are going to do it. Like so. Okay. That's clipped in. Let's make sure that isn't all the way around. Needs to make them look professional. Right, my auto choice speakers and my shelf are in. Let's see what they sound like. Well, hey, I've put it on a station where I'm getting no signal and I've moved the fade right to the back to tell, but you can hear my auto champions, or whatever they are, auto choice, auto speakers are working. £12 well spent. Safety first. Here's my electric aerial. It doesn't really work and I don't get any radio reception. And when you look in the boot behind the boot liner, you sort of understand why. This isn't an original Mercedes aerial, if you couldn't tell. It's been replaced with some crappy cheap thing off the internet, held on with gaffer tape, and it's actually falling off in my hands. A bent piece of bracket for a shelf or something just been screwed through here. And the wiring has just been gaffer taped together and it's held on basically with hopes and prayers, and it's no wonder that when you press the button for the aerial it just sort of whirs and clunks and doesn't work. This is knackered and bodged and awful. So the plan is I'm going to yank it out and replace it with a static aerial, which yes isn't as sleek as a mechanical one that goes up and down, yes I know, but these break, exhibit A, and you have to continually lubricate them and often they get stuck like you did on my Alpha GTV, and frankly I can't be dealing with that. So let's pull this bodged piece of junk out and then we'll replace it with a one that actually works. Might even be able to listen to my ABBA by the end of the day. Fingers crossed. When the aerial dropped, all this just sort of fell off. That, genuine chrome. Ahem. If this was you and you thought this was acceptable, I can't fathom your thinking, frankly. It's not acceptable. It's awful. And you suck. I've seen some bodges in my time, but you know what? This just takes the cake. It's just rubbish. How can you think this bracket from a shelf and a load of gaffer tape is acceptable? These bolts aren't even the same size. That's a 10mm. No, that is so loose I can undo it by hand. Is it any wonder this didn't work? There's not even just an angle bracket to hold it into the car, held on by gaffer tape. So here is my new static aerial, and because I'm a man I haven't read the instructions, so we're just going to try and do this pretty much by guesswork. What we have to do, I believe, is unscrew this tiny nut off of here, and you nearly lose the washer if you're an idiot like me, through there onto the outside of the car like so. And then that goes on the underside and gets screwed in place, and my god, you are definitely not going to be able to see this when I do it. It goes through the inner wing. I'm not going to be able to film this happening, I won't lie. It's all tucked up under here behind the spring for the boot and I can barely see what I'm doing or feel it, so take my word for that's what I'm doing, and in a few short minutes we should have an aerial that works. And there we have it. New aerial fitted, plugged in and working. And it doesn't look too ugly either. I'm quite pleased with the height of that. That means there's only one more bit to do to bring the Mercedes back to life. Oh, is that on? Yes. Come on, come on, it's so close. And there we have it. From looking like a stripped out, gutted parts car or project car, the 123 is now back together. Deep clean seats, shelf back in with brand new auto choice speakers, first aid kit back in, rear trim panels back in, all sorted out in the boot with a brand new aerial rather than that bodgy old crap one, and it looks fantastic. I'm just gonna, after all that work, I think I've earned a sit down. Love being in this car. I'm so excited to take this on some adventures this year, go on some mad road trips, both for Classics World and for this channel as well. Let me know, where should I go with this car, what should I do with it, just drive it for now. That's my priority. But yeah, I love this old girl. It's back together, it's working, it's driving, it's got a radio that works, it doesn't leak, it's got a new rear window seal in it, it's rust free, and that means I can get on with enjoying it. For now, I'm just going to enjoy driving it. So as ever, thanks very much for watching, everybody, and have a brilliant rest of your day. Catch you soon, and have a good one.